fucking cunts!
PlayStation has announced the end of physical games on the platform starting in 2028. They also announced that the PS3 and Vita stores will also be closing, meaning you cannot buy a game off the Vita or PS3 store anymore. You can still download the games you own off those stores, however, but you can't buy any games on that store anymore. This is hilarious time, and it was so funny, in fact, I was laughing so hard I almost shit myself. They are going full digital, and the whole issue around going full digital is game preservation and owning your games. If there was any game that was exclusive to the PS3 store or the Vita store, you can no longer play that game if you don't already own it on those stores. And I would not be surprised in the future if you can no longer download the games you already own from those stores in 5-10 years' time. Pain is an example of a PSN game on the PS3. If you do not own that, game's gone. If I'm Nintendo, if I'm Xbox, particularly Xbox, I am announcing as soon as possible that we are committed to physical games for the foreseeable future, for the next 10 years, for the next 15 years, because that will immediately get you some good PR. From an Xbox point of view, this would get you a one-up on Sony, which you desperately need. Considering how much of a clown show it is over at Xbox, I don't think they'll have the brains to think, oh, that's a good idea, let's be pro-consumer, that'll get us some goodwill, that'll get us maybe some more console sales. No, they won't do that. They'll probably follow suit with Sony, and therefore will be committed to an all-digital future that no consumer really wants. Another issue that comes with this, along with the game ownership argument, is backwards compatibility. The PS6 is probably going to come out in the next 3 years. If they are committing to a digital future, the likelihood is that console will not launch with a disc drive. With that being the case, any physical games you own on PS4, PS5, they likely won't be able to be played on the PS6. Which means you'll have to buy the game twice, or you'll have to just keep your PS5 and then use that to play those PS4 and PS5 games. This deserves as much backlash as possible. I think they knew the backlash they would get by announcing this, so I don't think they're changing their mind, no matter how much backlash they get. I think the only way Sony might change their minds is if a studio of the caliber of CD Projekt Red came out and were like, we're not releasing games on your platform unless you allow physical games on them. I think that's the only thing that could potentially change their mind. PlayStation this generation has been a joke. Xbox this generation have been a joke. Nintendo with their Switch 2 have been dodgy. This, to me, is the lowest point of this generation. By far the lowest point of this generation. Because this generation's been trash overall. The PS4 generation was better, the PS3 generation was better, the PS2 generation was way better, the PS1 generation was way better. This is the worst generation in Sony's history, and they've just made it worse. The day one version of a game is on a disc, and if you want to play the original version without any updates, that is the only way to play it. If you want to play the original version of GTA 5, you have to go back to the 360 version or the PS3 version, get a disc copy, install the game, don't update it. That's the original version of the game that you played when it first came out. You cannot do that with a digital-only game. You'll be updated. So if they make changes that you don't like, if they change the game in very substantial ways, you can never go back to that original version that you remembered. I'm honestly shocked it's happened this quickly. I knew this would happen in the future, but I'm very shocked it's happened as quickly as it has. Go fuck yourself, Sony. Reverse this decision.